Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. On to this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on lately in the political scene. Candace Owens is being attacked. Now, if you haven't heard the news, I'm sure many of you guys have, if you are on X especially, I'm sure many of you guys have came across videos of people talking down on Candace Owens. And it's not by accident. Candace, if this video come across you, just understand that I'm going to do it for free. I don't need no money from you. I'm just going to go ahead and say, look, when you're under truth, of course, the enemies are going to try to crank up the propaganda to try to mislead as many people as they possibly can. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little video that Candace Owens was talking about today about how the Israelis, or should I say the Zionists, are cranking up their attack. It's not only on Candace Owens, by the way. It's Candace and Tucker Carlson. But let's go ahead and see what Candace has to say. And, let's just listen up and then I will just give my thought.
Of young Americans poisoning the minds of people at Sunday school to believe that, like, as almost an indulgence, that if you just let Israel do whatever it wants, you will be blessed. That this interview would have sent them mad. And mad it did. Because oddly, in response to this debate, despite everyone agreeing Tucker won.
In case you haven't noticed, she's talking about the debate between Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz.
Handily, we started seeing an appearance of influencers that began not just attacking Tucker and pretending like nobody just watched what they watched and going like, Tucker's crazy, but strangely attaching my name to it. It was not just Tucker, it was Tucker and Candace. I'm going to show you just one example, okay? It's a little long, but it's worth watching. This is a woman, her name is Nadine. She has 16,000 followers, and this is the video that she did in reaction to Tucker's sit down with Ted Cruz. Take a listen.
Okay, did anybody else watch the Tucker?
And before this video continues, I just want to, in case I miss it, because sometimes I will go on a tangent, while you watch her reaction, while you watch her respond to the whole Candace Owens and Tucker situation, right? Let me know how many times she gives a valuable information, her actual thought of like where Candace was wrong and where Tucker was wrong. Just pay attention to that.
Tucker Carlson interview with Ted Cruz yesterday and think, what in the world has happened to Tucker Carlson?
No one thought that.
I really used to like this guy, but he looked so insane during this interview. He was so offended and acted completely juvenile. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen Tucker Carlson do. He looked so bad. He literally made himself look very weak and immature. Did anybody else get that same? I mean, I was watching it with this open mind thinking this is going to be a great interview. And then it just went downhill really fast. But Tucker was, it grossed me out. I don't even think I can watch Tucker Carlson anymore. I really feel like he needs to give an apology to Ted Cruz. It was, what a debacle. Anybody else feel the same way? If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Come back, tell me what you think, because I watched it twice and could not believe what I was seeing. Tucker, get a grip, dude. You were so rude, so condescending. It was disgusting. And you know what? And let's talk about Candace Owens, too.
Let's do that.
I used to like watching her, but she's gone completely crazy and downhill. What is happening with these people? Yeah, just when you think you've got the right people on the right side, boom. Cuckoo. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm mind blown today over it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what money does to people. In case you don't know, okay? While you were watching that, if somebody is giving a criticism, you would expect them to bring something to back up their criticism. Instead, it's just ad hominem. That's it. She had no substantial evidence as to why Tucker was in the wrong. I watched the entire interview of Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz. And I'm going to be honest with you. Ted Cruz was shaking in his boots because Tucker was giving him some tough questions that somebody who's been paying $1.8 million from APAC Tractor, if they, say the wrong thing, all that money is gone. So it truly amazes me that she would say she watched the interview twice, and yet she wasn't able to give any reason as to why Tucker Carlson was in the wrong. Now, I will personally tell you right now, Tucker Carlson did a phenomenal job in that interview. Why? Because this interview is going to be used from people years from now as an evidence that this is the reason why Zionism fell in the United States, as an evidence as to why the American people rose up against their own government. Tucker Carlson couldn't even answer the most basic question ever, such as how many people live in Iran. The country that you're wanting to bomb, you have no idea the population of that country. And then on top of that, he went ahead and said that he uses the Bible script to try to justify the bombing of Iranian and justify the support for the Israelis. And then Tucker asked him, oh yeah? What chapter is that? He didn't even know the chapter. And if anybody understands the history of the Schofield Bible, you would understand that the Bible has been edited. The Zionists edited the Bible, and then they went ahead and gave it to this guy down in the South and said, hey, we need you to write your name on this book so we can publish it and they can influence as many Christians as they possibly can. And so anybody who comes to you and say, I support Israel because God told us to, they're lying. Why? Because the Bible that is used to justify that has been edited. In the original Bible, it doesn't even mention Israel. It doesn't mention Israel. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and try to find a video where the actual verse, what it actually says. And I'm going to tell you this. Muslims are the one who are actually upholding that verse. What does it say? It says that it was saying that those who blesses Abraham. It was a singular person. Those who blesses Abraham will be blessed. And I'm going to tell you this. Muslims are the one who bless Israel. Abraham. After every single prayer, Muslims are the one who are sending blessing on Abraham. If you don't believe me, ask any Muslim. They will tell you. As a matter of fact, I'm a Muslim myself, so I do know the answer to this for sure. But that's what I wanted to tell you, is that they have no proof. They have no evidence, right? And I was scrolling through TikTok, and the list just goes on. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. Like, boom. Everybody is just talking about Candace Owens 12 hours ago. This one is probably 3 days ago. They're all just talking about Candace Owens. It's insane. Like, they just cranked it up, bro. Look at this. And so what I want to say is, it's not by accident. It is not by accident. And if you go to Candace Owens and you listen to approximately 13 minutes of this podcast of hers, she will tell you who this person is and where the money is coming from to fund these content creator to go ahead and, spread as many lie about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson as much as possible. And to be quite honest, a lot of these people, you can already tell that they have not done a single research on the whole subject. They don't even know where. You can tell that these people didn't even listen to Tucker Carlson's interview. They don't listen to Candace Owens because they were given a script. And the script that they're reading off of, they don't even elaborate a little bit more on it to substantiate their evidence as to why Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens are the bad people. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to tell you is that the truth is coming out. The world is waking up. They see that. Recently, somebody in New York has recently just become a mayor. And this guy said that if Benjamin Netanyahu steps in New York, he will be arrested. Because guess what? Benjamin Netanyahu has an arrest warrant. As a matter of fact, speaking of arrest warrant, here's another one that I wanted to talk about. And this one, now many people don't know this. Many people don't have no idea that this is currently taking place, which is why I genuinely believe that the ceasefire that recently just happened between Israel and Iran is not going to hold. As a matter of fact, I think it's only the beginning. You know how when somebody is about to dive into a pool and then they dip their toe in to see, the temperature, just to feel it for a little bit and see how they're going to approach it, whether they're going to, jump in there fully or just take it nice and slow. I genuinely believe that what just happened between Israel and Iran was that. It's only the beginning. Want to know why? Because Benjamin Netanyahu understands that if there's no war between Israel, whether that's Israel and Hamas or Israel and Iran, guess what? The focus is going to be put on him. He's going to go to jail. He's a war criminal. He is wanted all over the world. The ICJ is looking for him. It is upon the people and the state and the country, wherever he goes, to arrest him and send him to the ICJ so that way he can be judged. And now recently, guess what? Now that the situation between Iran and Israel has died down, he's back in the news. Even though the Palestinians are still getting blown up, he's back in the news. So let's go ahead and listen to why he's back in the news.
What's out? It's so long. It's so long. It says, breaking news. Breaking news. I was shocked to hear that the state of Israel, which has just had one of its greatest moments in history and is strongly led by Bibi Netanyahu, is continuing its ridiculous witch hunt against their great wartime prime minister. Bibi and I went through hell together, fighting a very tough and brilliant longtime enemy of Israel, Iran, and Bibi could not have been better, sharper, or stronger in his love for the incredible Holy Land. Anybody else would have suffered losses, embarrassment, and chaos. Bibi Netanyahu was a warrior, like perhaps no other warrior in the history of Israel, and the result was something that nobody thought was possible, a complete elimination of potentially one of the biggest and most powerful nuclear weapons anywhere in the world, and it was going to happen soon. We were fighting literally for the survival of Israel. And there is nobody in Israel's history that fought harder or more complete or more competently than Bibi Netanyahu. Despite all of this, I just learned that Bibi has been summoned to court on Monday for the continuation of this long-running, he has been going through this horror show since May of 2020, unheard of. This is the first time a sitting Israeli prime minister has ever been on trial, politically motivated case concerning cigars, a Bugs Bunny doll, and numerous other unfair charges in order to do him great harm. Such a witch hunt for a man who has given so much. It's unthinkable to me. He deserves much better than this. And so does the state of Israel. Bibi Netanyahu's trial should be canceled immediately, or a pardon given to a great hero who has done so much for the state. Perhaps there is no one that I know who could have worked in better harmony with the president of the United States, me, than Bibi Netanyahu. It was the United States of America that saved Israel, and now it's going to be the United States of America that saves Bibi Netanyahu. This travesty of justice cannot be allowed. First and foremost, that's really long. And when
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have true social. That's why I couldn't, I went ahead and let her explain this whole thing to you. Not the hell, read the whole thing to you. This man has killed over 50,000 innocent people in Gaza. I also heard that the Google Earth, if you go to Google Earth and you zoom into Gaza, it has been updated and you can see the destruction that they have caused. Trump is the man who says that we're looking for peace. Trump is the man who says that we are fighting on the forefront of, the fighting terrorism. Trump is the man who wants to be the bastion of peace throughout the Middle East, and I guess you can say throughout the world. Even with the whole world being war being stopped in Iran, some people are actually saying that we should nominate Trump for Nobel Peace Prize. This is the same man that is not defending a war criminal, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about having two tongues. This is the man who wants to fight terrorism is now defending a war criminal. If he is a man of his word, what should he do? He should let it happen. Let them arrest Bibi Netanyahu. If he is saying Bibi Netanyahu is innocent, okay, cool. Let him get arrested, take him to court, and judge him, and let's find out if he's innocent. That's the logical thing, right? If he's innocent, he'll be set free. But the only reason he is saying this and wrote such a long paragraph is simply because he knows, he understands that this man, if he goes to court, there's no way that he can be defended. After all the destruction, after 9 months of dropping bombs on innocent people, and then attacking Iran unprovoked, talking about preemptive attack. I mean, this man is a sociopath that is running a tiny little nation in the Middle East. And now the hammer of justice is getting ready to be dropped on him. Guess what? The man who wants peace is not coming to his defense. And then you start to wonder why people are saying that the Americans are being controlled by the Zionists. Now you start to understand why people are saying that $2 million that was given to Donald Trump before he got into office, guess what? That $2 million wasn't given to him for free. It wasn't. Yeah. Anyways, now you got the one. I hope you learn something that's going on. Okay? I hope you learn something. The hammer is coming down. Zionists are losing. They're paying small creators to bash Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. Somebody who is against Zionism, who is against Bibi Netanyahu, has recently been elected in New York as the mayor. And guess what? If you see the celebration, it's not a bunch of brownies that are happy about it. It's not a bunch of immigrants that are happy about it. No. It's a bunch of white people who are saying, finally, a change. Somebody who is for America. Somebody who is for New York. Because that right there is what the mayor of New York was preaching about. When they asked him the question that if you become the mayor, where you going to go? He said, I'm staying here. I made a video about that if you want to see it, by the way. It's in you can find it down there somewhere. But that's what it is. You can see the shift. You can see the shift. And people are waking up to it. And so, hey, I want to be a part of those people who wake up to the whole situation. I want to be a part of those people who saw the downfall of the most corrupt organization that ever existed in the 20th and the 21st century, to be more specific. I mean, come on, let's be honest. The Pharaoh was worse. Yeah, he was worse. This dude was literally murdering babies, like intentionally for like a whole year, and nobody could stop him. At least the Zionists, they try to hide it. They try. You know what I mean? Even though we can see it clearly. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there, man. If you made it this far, please just understand something. I'm not somebody who is a commentator on politics. I'm not somebody who is a genius when it comes to this aspect. But when you see the whole world falling around you, it's kind of hard to ignore it. You know what I mean? And so right now, I decided to put aside the other contents that I do, which is, seeing people do dumb shit, and then I go ahead and commentate on that. I decided to focus on this because you need to wake up to this. You need to understand that there are people out there, sociopaths out there, who are getting ready to press the big red button. And it is very tempting. Very, very tempting. And for your homework, look into the Samson option and you will understand exactly who's getting ready to press that button. Those people are losing right now. Later.